Okay, guitarists, today we're looking at technique line 2. Alright, we have D major to F sharp minor to D to G, A7, and D. Now remember when I talked about E minor in technique line 1, we were going to play it like we play in E major, but release the first finger. Okay, so that was to imply that we have multiple ways of playing multiple chords. So I could play, because I only need 2 fingers, an E minor with these 2 fingers, 3 and 4, these 2, 2 and 3, or these 2, 1 and 2. Depending on the context, I can do any one. Context meaning what came before, what comes after. We want to do what is easiest with the chords that are around. So if I have an E minor followed by an E major, it's easiest to play like that. Alright, and then an A minor after that. And then it's easiest for us to do this and just move that shape up. Okay, so all that to preface what I'm going to talk about with the D to F sharp minor. Now normally we'd play a D like this. The 1, 2, and 3. Okay? And we're going to play F sharp minor with just 3 strings. The top 3 strings barred. That's the easiest way you can play an F sharp minor. You want to avoid playing the D string because then it becomes sort of a jazzier version of a D chord. So we avoid playing that D string, just the top 3 strings. If all we can do is that bar there, then we'll just play the top 3 strings. Okay, so if I went from this, playing my D, to playing my F sharp minor, okay, it's a little bit awkward. I'm just going to go back and forth between them so you can see that, because that's what happens in the piece. D to F sharp minor, back to D. I can do that without too much difficulty, but if you're newer to the guitar, you want something easier. Alright, so if I'm already in a bar, and this is almost the exact same as a D, all I need to do is add, if I want to play a D and keep that same general shape, just need to add the 2nd finger. And I'll just remove 1 for the F sharp minor and play 1 less string. See, pretty simple, right? Now that will strain your first finger holding it down over 3 strings, although that's a very small bar, and usually guitarists are holding over all 6. Okay, so actually, ideally, what I'd be playing in a full chord, that would be my D, and it wouldn't really matter how I place my D. But a D and an F sharp minor would be over all 6 strings. So when you're doing the full chord, it doesn't really matter, but if we're doing something smaller, it'll make it easier textually, instead of going like that to that, to just maintain the bar. And then there's also the slightly more complex way of playing the F sharp minor with the pinky, where we can play all 4 strings. Just try and move those fingers out of the way. You can see there. Okay. And so when we go between the D and the F sharp minor, we remove 2nd finger, add 4th. So whatever you choose to use. Okay. So here's the D. I'll remove 1 and add 1. Same number of strings. Here's the D. There's the F sharp minor. I prefer the fuller chord. Okay, so there you go. That's the main difficulty of the piece, is going to be the D to the F sharp minor to the D. We're going to play the G a little bit differently here, because we've just gone to a bar D and the rules change. Our 4 is way out there now. It feels awkward to get our pinky up on the G string. So we're going to use our 3 because it's right in the position. It's right above it. And then use our 1 and 2 like normal in A7. It'll still feel natural. I'm going to go back to a normal D because we came from the fangs of the A7. And we're going to go to the fangs of the D and add that 3rd string. Alright, so there's a D, a normal. To start, we're going to do this sort of D, bar D, then our F sharp minor, then back to our bar D, then add our 3 for a G, do the fangs for an A7, moving up and add the 3 for the D. So we've got 2 different sorts of D, right? So I'm going to play this all the way through. Okay, there you have it.